What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Burke, aka Dansweight here, and welcome back to this Final Fantasy X mini challenge in which we try to escape from the Omega Ruins, having been theoretically teleported here from the bottom of the lake ice in Makalania. Now the last session, well the first session, was a long one and it was a lot of fun. Had some very interesting encounters and fought things in ways I haven't either fought before or for a very long time. And so we managed to make it to this halfway point, and thankfully on the Steam version, one advantage is that it does give you an autosave here. So we don't have like the properly functioning emulation save states, but we have an autosave here. And thanks to that, that means that even if things go wrong from here on, I can always fire this save back up and get back into it. So I will be keeping any fails. This is legitimately the first session back after yesterday's one. So I did fix the problem where for some reason, like somehow I accidentally gave Auron a drain, like the black magic sphere that I had, I used it on Auron by accident. I gave that to Yuna, I gave her the Osmos, that's what I should have done. Obviously I didn't intentionally give Auron drain. And so yeah, I did fix that in between sessions, and so that's fine and good to go. But obviously all of the other stuff, everyone's stats, their MP, their HP, all of the items, all of the equipment, everything is identical to whatever we had at the end of the last session. So we are going to continue on from here and see what we can do. So we haven't broken any of the rules that I've mentioned up until this point, and we're going to see if we can continue to do that, especially against Omega. Now what I probably will do, I think, is once I do get to Omega himself, in order to be able to not have to do these like 8 encounters or however many there are, 8 to 10 encounters before Omega, I'm going to flee from the battles. I'm going to run back here and I'm going to auto-save so that I have the stats and the setup that I want. And then when I need to do repeat Omega attempts, at least then I can just sort of go straight through and try it again, instead of having to sort of do the redo like the half an hour, 1 hour, hour and a half, however long it's going to take me to get to Omega from this point. So without much further ado, let's get back into it and continue where we left off. Now, Yuna having Osmos is great, but whether she's going to be able to use much of it really will depend on what we're facing. Again, it is randomized, but it's only from a certain pool of enemies. So stuff like the Makea we never got to face, and that's really annoying because they had stamina tonics and they would have been so useful against Omega weapon, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to get them. Now I do have level 3 spheres. At this stage I'm not going to get that many more sphere levels, maybe like 8 to 10 tops. Is it worth breaking this lock and just quickly grabbing this as well? Let me count. It's probably just another 1 to get to here. No. Oh, come on, that's rude. Okay, 2, 3. I feel like it might be worth it. So let's do that. I really don't think I'm going to be able to use it on much else, and Ultimate Weapon kindly gave me these, so I will take it. I'm not going to use these. I don't even remember where I got them in the playthrough. They're probably like fine to use, but I'm just going to see if I can do without it. So we will leave those out for now. Traptus. Again, maybe this one I will use. It's probably a +4, isn't it? Yeah. At this stage, I feel like they're the only useful things that I can do with the level 3 spheres that I have. Riku getting some final useful boosts as well. Honestly, Riku, I think no matter what I do at this stage, with the sphere levels and the time that I have left, even if I break this lock, she's going to get to like, what, 35 strength or something, and that's really not going to be much at all. So even if Riku does feature against Ultima, she's probably not going to be attacking very much. So we'll see. Now, yeah, definitely need to try and get some osmosis in, but we'll just have to see how it goes. What did I get? What was my weapon drop from Ultima? Let's have a check. And I want to see if I've got any other drops that I kind of forgot about. Oh yeah, we did get this from the Wraith, which was a pretty epic drop, I have to say. And so that's why I could use it again, but at this stage the encounters are mandatory anyway, and so yeah, it's not ultimately that useful to me, but there you go. Auron getting double overdrive is actually kind of nice. That is kind of nice. If only you had one more slot, man. 2 slots is just rude. But what else can I put on there at the moment? Let me organize this. Okay. Ah, right. I could put piercing on there, but in case I want to make like a boss battle specific, like an Omega specific weapon, I'm gonna save that. Oh man, yeah, I need to encounter like 3 adamantoids or something. That's what I need. Because if I don't have stamina tonics, I'd love to have more stamina tablets. That would be really nice. So a lot is going to hinge on what I encounter here. And like I said, this is my first run at this. So I feel like I had relatively, probably on the slightly lower side of luck on the way here. Like not encountering a single Micaiah. Not being able to steal a single set of shining gems also I think sucks. So I think I've been a bit unfortunate, I would say. Yeah, and we might also still get something with like loads of slots, so for now I'm still going to keep my options open. I'm not going to commit to any customizations either. So let's get going and get into this first encounter and see what we're going to be facing on our way down to Omega. Especially this part of the Omega ruins really just looks so cool and so different from a lot of what we've seen. And that's why I've always, to me, it really has always had that DLC vibe. And so being able to play it almost as if it's a DLC that I arrived at early has been very cool. Let's see, what do we got? This is, at least it's an easy battle, but it's a bad enemy to face. But I think at this stage I've really got to inch out every piece of AP that I can get, so I really want to make sure I use everybody here. So I am, at this stage, I'm basically playing alongside the P-Birdman Ultimate Companion guys, so I don't miss anything here. And it's so, you forget so quickly, like, you know, what a certain thing is immune to. You fight 10 other encounters and you've already forgotten what it is, so I need to always double check this stuff. Far Plane Wind and Shining Gem are the steel here. And it is immune to delay, unfortunately. So, where to begin? Varuna, again, is that annoying one that has 1 MP, so I can't really do anything. We'll start by taking a chance here and just throwing a couple of nulls on there. The only problem here is when I'm trying to rotate everybody, I'm going to take a lot of damage and potentially some KOs. So I'm just going to try and see if we can keep people alive while we dance with the Varuna here. Okay, I'll take that. So these guys haven't had turns yet, so I'm just going to wait. And I literally don't even have echo screens, it's really funny. So I can't get rid of the silence unless I use a remedy, which I kind of rather not at this stage. Honestly, since she has the double protection, actually no.
So, how shall we do this?
Okay, thankfully she has just enough agility to get the next turn in. Man, remembering the Death Touch works against the black elements on the second encounter was definitely very useful. So in the name of getting everyone AP here, I'm just really making sure I take my time and everybody gets their turn. Steal. Now, I think Titus immediately traded his first turn, so I'm going to make sure here. Okay, now he gets mean, but that's going to help the overdrive. We'll take that, and he has double overdrive as well. So that was actually a nice outcome. This drain he shouldn't have anymore. I forgot to remove this drain, but obviously not going to use it. But I think with that we should be fine. So now we can steal with Yuna, which is not something I thought I'd be saying in this challenge. There you go. But you can see that damage is just not very good. So against Omega, that's what's worrying me here. Just purely being able to do 1,000,000 damage seems like it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Well, there we go. See you later. Yep, just really trying to inch out those sphere levels as much as I can. Is it worth grabbing? This one's too far away, man. I've got to use an extra 1, 2, 3 sphere levels and then the way back. I don't think I'm going to mess with that. I think HP is maybe more important here. If Yuna is on the front line, we're going to be trying to use stuff like Cheer. I think that thinking ahead, the first thing obviously I'm going to try to do is just see, can I survive without having to use like Phoenix Downs? Can I make it? And so we're going to try to like double HP and 5 times Cheer and Shell and Protect and all that stuff. And with that, can we sort of survive? If we can, then we're onto something. If we can't even do that, then it might already be kind of fundamentally not that possible, but we'll just have to see. And how many red spheres do I have left? I mean, for power spheres, I'm already almost running out of them. That's a problem. I might have to stop using power spheres for characters like Lulu, who are almost certainly not going to fight against Omega. Been trying my best to bring everybody along for the ride for now, but only 18 power spheres left is a bit worrying when I still have 7 characters going around the grid at the same time. So first enemy we couldn't use an Osmos on, but just have to see. I think I have 2 ethers left, right? 3 ethers, okay, not bad. And 3 elixirs if I really, really need it. That agility at 13 is so bad. Tie us all the way up to 40 now. So okay, let's go. See who we're going to face next. Come on, Adamantoise, man. I need the Adamantoise encounter. Ugh. This is a bad one. This is a bad one. Shit. Again, I can steal like far plane wins, but most of what I'm facing is death proof anyway. There just isn't like a nice quick way to do damage against them, but they do have a lot of MP, and so that's something I can definitely make use of. I can't slow them, but I can haste us up. I don't think Kimari has Hasker yet. With there being 2 of them, I do need to be careful because they can use death. Wow, this one heals from 3 elements. Come on, man. So like a reflect strategy is dangerous too, because if this guy is healing from 3 out of the 4 elements, then you could put yourself into trouble too. It's just not good. This is what I mean. Even something like Beacon L, where you could get shadow gems coming into this, everything would be so much easier. I don't even know where to start here. I don't really want to use many buffs because we're gonna have to deal with Doom a lot anyway. This is bad. Anyway, let me get my Osmos in. I'll start there. Okay, that's something. Unfortunately, they don't give much AP as well. This is why this is a bad encounter. Now, Kimari I'm going to rely on a bit more because he can use delay attack, at least. 474 though is really shit. Yeah, the defense is 150, so piercing doesn't help. You just need to be straight up powerful. Is it worth? See, again, Lulu doesn't have Osmos, and she can't use Demi because her MP is very low. Just a bad situation. Again, it's only bad just because of resource management. That's the reason I'm not happy. No Candle of Life, so I can't get a quick Doom on them either. There just isn't really much to do here, unfortunately, against them. So it's going to be a lot of swapping characters out and stuff, I think. Yeah. And the fact that Doom is so final, like, there is no way you can get rid of Doom. I do wonder, can Petrification get rid of it? It's been a long time since I checked something like that, but... maybe. It's a shame he doesn't have Delay Buster. Oh, come on, man. This is bad. This is exactly the problem. I'm gonna do this because I can get back. I can get back the MP with Yuna. Just a horrible encounter, it really is. I'm going to have a look at the use menu, see if there's anything I can do. I mean, this guy, like I say, just heals from like 3 and then completely cancels out the other one, has no weaknesses. It's just lame. Nah, there isn't really anything I can do. I can't even damage the guy properly. Yeah. This is going to be slow progress, but I don't really see much of a way out here, so I'm going to have to just... not times 4. I'm going to have to try to speed things up here and just keep going as best I can. But it's just using death too much. This is shit. And I don't think Yuna's fast enough to keep coming in and using life every time this happens. Yeah, you see how frequently death is happening. How funny, right? I mean, Wraiths are usually some of the easiest, kind of most pointless encounters of the whole game. You never really have anything to fear against these guys, pretty much ever. But this time, it's different. Still has 17,000 HP. I want to knock this guy right out of here. I'm just going to start using MP because I've got to make moves. But it's spamming death way too much. This is just bullshit right now. This is just purely unlucky. I mean, the odds of it using death is 33%. And the fact that we've seen it happen so many times is rubbish. Wow. I have not had good encounter RNG. I really don't think I have. And even with Delay Buster, its turn doesn't exactly take forever. It still arrives relatively quick. I'm going to use a Poison Fang. There isn't much else I can do. Just so hard to damage when you don't have a strong mage. At this stage, I think, honestly, I'm going to bring in Lulu. I'm going to give her the Ether. And we're going to crank out some demis because this is a problem. I don't think we can play around here. So we'll keep trying to delay. Let me just mug whatever's in here, at least. Okay. Right. Demi. You know what? Last session I was curious about it. I'm just going to try a Demi Fury. How many? I mean, surely I don't have to hit that many. Hopefully this works. Yeah, take that, you son of bitches. So, Lulu using Demi Fury against a pair of Wraiths. This is why these challenges are so fascinating to me, because just shit that you never really think you would be doing. So, I mean, that was a pretty significant chunk of damage. That's literally one of the single most damaging things I could have done. So, how are we looking now? Still 4,900 after 6 demis. If only Yuna had Holy. Now that she's on Riku's grid, obviously. I don't think I could have got that far anyway, but... I don't think I want to risk mixing with Riku. I feel like that's a step too far. Just going to toss a couple of things like this, try and do a bit more damage. Oh no, doesn't do the damage if they're immune, that sucks. And Kimari's done an incredible job to stay alive here. Fair play. Double death. Ah, this could be the end. Yeah. So there you go. That's my first game over. Honestly, you guys saw I tried my best to stay alive here. And 2 Wraiths took me out despite a Demi Fury with 6 hits. Wow. That encounter was horrific, man. And I will encounter that one again, I think. That one's relatively common. I think if I do this run 10 times, I'd probably encounter that like on 6 or 7 of them at least. So that's not a good start. I mean, I don't even really know what else I could have done there. I tried to give it everything, but the amount of times death was spammed there, literally looking at the mechanics, and it says it's a 33% chance. That's nonsense. And especially if all 3 of the characters have Doom, and then they don't use it anyway. So, seeing that many deaths, it must have been like 10 times at least in that battle. It's just too much. So yeah, we've been kicked back, unfortunately. So, the only good thing about this is that I might have different encounters as a result. Well, I'm pretty sure I will have different encounters, and maybe this time it will be more favorable. But in general, I'm going to always do my best to make sure I try to get the win for every encounter. But that one I was generally, I think, unlucky. So, same strategy as before, and we'll forward ahead to the first encounter. Another one of the problems of not facing stuff like the Master Curls is I could have gotten some Death Ward maybe, stuff like that, but I have 0 death protection in the team as well, so there's nothing I can do about that either. Just gonna have to get on with it. Okay, take 2. Actually, I'm gonna quickly come back up so that I can save here. Cannot believe I got taken out by 2 Wraiths, arseholes. Now I'm thinking, should I have sacrificed Riku's mix there to do something, but... yeah, I don't know. Next time I will consider it more strongly. I mean, there's a chance we could encounter them twice. So anything can happen, we'll just have to see. Right, okay, this is better. Decent AP, and at least we can get Lunar Curtain, so that's good. Now, same trick as before, once you end up provoking them, then they're fine. I wonder if I should leave... It's a bit of a risky game. Nah, I think it's not worth it. I'm not going to stick around and wait for Auron to get hit.
Hey you! Over here!
So I'm going to speed this one up. This is one of the easiest encounters. Thanks to Provoke, of course. Whoops. There you go. There's a mistake. So I got my wish. I did get an attack off, but... Okay, let's start stealing. And... Provoke the correct one. There we go. Okay. Time for some steals. Okay, so I stole maybe like 8 or 10 times with Yuna, and that's it. I did get one more rare steal, which was kind of fortunate. I'm not sure if it was a rare steal actually, but yeah, I did get at least one more steal. So I just need to steal from this guy as well. I think it must have been the common one. Times 2 is the common steal, I guess. What's the common and the rare? Let me quickly have a check. I think they're both either they're both the same. Yeah, whatever. We're just gonna keep stealing. I forgot they're because they're actually technically Xanacan fiends. They're not in the list for Inside Sin or Omega Ruin, so I had to scroll really far back to find those components. Basically, you're still lunar cutters. I'll add the annotation. Maybe 3 is the rare still, that would be my guess. But I haven't seen any 3s. Okay, I think that steal is probably the last one. I'm not going to push my luck any further. And now I'm just going to finish up the rotation and then start to take these guys down. Okay, especially since I have 2 guys that have piercing, we managed to take it out pretty quickly. Especially on times 4, it's not too bad. Orin 1600, which is good, I would say, considering the circumstances, and a nice critical there. But yeah, Omega still worried me. I mean, I couldn't beat 2 Wraiths. If I really went all out, of course I could, but as you've seen, that I've tried to maintain a strong element of like really preserving everything that I have. So I guess against those guys next time I really do have to go more all out to win. Trying to sort of conserve it at the same time just doesn't really work. I mean, I did fire off Lulu's Overdrive, which is quite a big deal for me, but even that wasn't enough. There's just not a good way to damage it. 150 defense is so high. It's just a problem. And so since it's not actually the fact that they have like armored status, they just have very high defense and not susceptible to armor break. So just a horrible combination. There we go. So 12,000, not the greatest, but honestly I'll take those over Wraiths any day. Ah, and more level 2s. Okay, that's good. At least with that I can do more piercing if I really want to. So that's nice. So last time we only got to the second encounter. Let's hope we can make it further ahead this time. In the back of my mind I was like, if I end up basically beating everything first time and I somehow find a way to really beat Omega more easily than I thought, it's going to be a shorter session than I imagined. But now with that loss against the Wraiths, it's starting to feel like, yeah, this is more the difficulty that I was hoping for and expecting. I didn't want to kind of end up overselling it. So I think, as you're seeing, if I'm losing against Wraiths, this is pretty challenging. No, that's not the one. Yeah, that's the one thing I forgot to do. I haven't equipped Orin's Dragon Killer. His new shiny weapon. Yeah, I mean, at this stage, maybe a good idea to just add that now. Don't know what else I could really add. Let's just do that. Yeah, literally the only good thing that came of the race was that I was able to osmose. But ultimately, it means little if you can't win the battle. Let's go. Encounter number 2. Let's see what we get this time. Adamantoids, come on. Okay. So, last time I underestimated this guy and it caused me problems, so I have to be careful. As always, I'm continuing to just take things slowly and carefully. That worked really well for me in the last session and end up getting, end up making very good progress. So, I'm going to do the same here.